Hi, in this demo I'm going to show you how to create a bucket within IBM Cloud Object Storage. We're going to do this from the Softlayer portal, and once it's defined you'll be able to utilize it to create an off-premise cloud container inside of IBM Spectrum Protect. So first, inside of Softlayer, once you log on, you'll want to go to Storage, Object Storage. You'll need to go ahead and create an account if you don't already have one. And you can do that by clicking on Order Object Storage. When you look at the object storage, you want to choose the Cloud Object Storage S3 API. You do not want to utilize the standard regional Swift API. So choose the S3 API. Below that, it'll give you an overview of the pricing, and this is subject to change and depending upon regions. So we'll go ahead and click Continue. In this case, I'm utilizing a promotion code, and I'm going to go ahead and set it up with the free trial offer. So I'm going to go ahead and say place order. Now that my order has been set, when I go back into my storage, object storage, I will see my new account name. Now I can go out here and I can add a short description by simply clicking on that field. Okay, and now I'm actually going to go in and configure this to work with IBM Spectrum Protect. So I drill down here. The first thing I need to do inside of Manage Buckets is create a bucket name. So I'm going to call this Spectrum Protect Softlayer Cloud. Okay, and the next thing you're going to need to do is make a decision on the type of resiliency and location and the type of storage class that you want to utilize. So the best way to learn about those is to click on the View Pricing Reference. You'll see here that when it comes to the cross-region versus regional, cross-region will have your data stored in 3 or more IBM Cloud geographic regions, and this will give you high business continuity and availability with support for your S3 compatible APIs. In comparison, regional has your data stored in multiple data center facilities within a single geographic region. And obviously the difference would be price for these two. The next decision you need to make is the storage class. We have standard, which is for active data that's going to be accessed multiple times per month on the cloud, versus vault, which is less active data that's accessed once a month or less. So Vault might be good for backup data. Next, you have Cold Vault, and this is rarely accessed data in long-term data retention. So this might be good for Spectrum Protect archives or data that's being tiered out to the cloud object storage pools after a specific amount of time. So Cold Vault will help achieve this long-term retention requirement while still being the most cost-effective option. There's also a Flex Pool, which is dynamic data with varying month-to-month access needs, and this is ideal for a mix of hot and cold workloads. And it falls somewhere between your standard and your Cold Vault pricing. And so depending upon the access that you need, you'll pick one of these storage classes. So in my case, I'm going to choose Cross-Region US, and I'm going to choose Cold Vault. Next, I click Add. And this will create my bucket. You will need the bucket name when you create inside of Spectrum Protect the off-premise container. And that container is going to have the type S3 API for IBM Cloud Object Storage. I also need to go into Access and Permissions. And I'm going to need to copy down my access keys. The first access key is kind of my account number. And the second, the secret access key, is the key I'm going to use as my password when I create the container. And next I'll need to copy down a URL. I'm going to choose the US Geo URL. These URLs do have load balancing that will work to balance across multiple regions. If I do want to look at the usage, I can click on my View Usage Details, and this will give me an overview of my Cloud Object Storage usage. When I go back into my object storage account, you will now see the bucket name, the resiliency location, and the storage class. Once a bucket has been set up, you cannot change the resiliency location or the storage class. So if you did need multiple buckets so that Spectrum Protect could have different containers accessing different resiliency locations or storage classes, you could simply add in additional buckets and then define new containers to your Spectrum Protect server. Let's take a look at how to create a container that can be used to directly back up or archive to, or that can be used to tier data of a certain age to. In the IBM Spectrum Protect Operations Center, you'll go to Storage, Storage Pools, click on Plus Storage Pool, give the storage pool that you're creating a name. You'll want to select a Spectrum Protect server to create this container storage pool on. This will be an off-premise cloud container. You'll probably want to leave the Spectrum Protect server-side encryption enabled. You'll want to choose the IBM Cloud Object Storage S3 API. And here's where you'll paste the information from the Softlayer portal. First, you'll need the access key ID. Next, you'll need the secret access key. You'll need the exact name of the bucket you created. And you'll need the URL. And I'm going to use the USGO URL. Now that you've entered all the required information from the Softlayer Cloud Object Storage, click Next. You'll be required to enter a local directory on the Spectrum Protect server. This directory has to already be created, and it'll be used to stage the files in prior to them being pushed out to the Softlayer Cloud Object Storage. So I'll go ahead and put that directory in, and now you can just click Add Storage Pool, and I've successfully created a Cloud Object Storage off-premise container. I can now assign policies and clients to back up directly to that container. And here you can see that storage pool. Another thing I can do with this cloud container is I can actually have a directory container move its backup or archive data out to this cloud container after a specific number of days. And inside of Spectrum Protect, that's very easy to set up. So we're going to take this test1 directory container storage pool. Go into Storage and then click on the tiering rules. I'm going to create a new rule where I select my target pool to be the new cause Softlayer pool that I just created. The source pool has to be a directory container pool. So I'm going to choose the test1, and I'm going to call this long-term to cause. Next, you'll choose after how many days in the directory container that information will be migrated out to the Cloud Object Storage container. We'll go ahead and take the default of 30 days. You can choose a start time when the migration should start on a daily basis, and this should be after your backups have completed. So we're going to go ahead and choose 11:30 in the morning, and I'm just going to let it run to finish. Okay, and if I go ahead and create that rule, I can now go look at the tiering rules, and you'll see I now have a tiering rule where after 30 days, the files in the directory container test1 will be migrated out for long-term storage to our Cloud Object Storage pool that resides inside of Softlayer. Thank you very much.